go. Are you to bang away? To mama, quay could daddy bang to Koyane. Bana say the kid bring bang away.
From the stage setup to the hosts, to the judges, to the audience, and then to the ladies. Listen, a round of applause going out to the production team. The setup was awesome. It was phenomenal. Honestly, I was just blown away when I saw that. And that shows that the weeks of hard work and everything is definitely paying off. Now, today on the show, you know how we do every single time, the review show, we just go deeper into the sides of the show that, people didn't really talk about. We're just going to be taking them one after the other and just running through them. And this is definitely an episode that we need to talk about. I was just excited last night. I was blown away, like I said. Everything was just on point. And so today's show here on the GMB Review Show, we're going to be delving deeper into last night's edition of Ghana's Most Beautiful 2023. My name is Noella. I'll be joined by my guests in the studio. But before I introduce them, let's just take a highlight. For those of you that missed, I don't know why you missed, but let's just take a highlight of last night's show on Ghana's Most Beautiful 2023.
So there you have it, our 16 beautiful ladies.
I have a story to tell you.
Long ago, Dradrana, when Emperor Japa embarked on his conquest of the current vast Gonja land.
Very strong. My grandchildren, Wolinyini, I want you to know that a country that has no past has no future. You want to meet the one that say yo, Omuchaya, so nature, the mentor the more, and one was do.
One semi there and one kasa. I remember 7 times 7 dreadlocks.
You were telling us something that we needed to hear. You did it. Amwenima, you are almost there. You are almost there.
Amwenima, you are almost.
In the 19th century, they were not fortunate with inks and papers, but Adinkra had his way out by drawing his concept on a calabash tree every morning. His designs were amazing, full of inspiration. His first design is called Adinkrahine. Kase Adinkrahine.
Mama yakagba call na dada. But the doneji le afani banji. Her name invokes great pride and inspiration amongst the FL people.
Salom. This is par excellence. I can't describe your act.
And that is just 3 hours wrapped up in a few minutes so you can understand where I'm coming from. Listen, you have no idea what happened last night on Ghana's Most Beautiful 2023. But we're going to delve deeper into that. My guests are here to help me with that. And today I have a very beautiful lady here. Sweetheart.
Hi.
What's popping? What's chilling? You know?
Going on well.
This is a very familiar face that all of you. I'm not even going to introduce him. Whatever. I'm going to introduce you. But sweetheart, you're welcome on the show. This is the first time. You're an artist viewer of Ghana's Most Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, last night, we learned a lot. It was so educative. We were told so many things, some of the things that we might have known, from the whole Kente history to so many stories.
Yeah.
What did you make? Just wrap up everything that happened last night.
So last night was an eye-opener because, I mean, they tell us the stories in school, in religious and moral education, in citizenship education, all of that. But last night, honestly, I didn't know there was an Ewe Kinte.
Right.
Like, I just knew that it was from the Ashanti region. That was it. I didn't know there was an another type of Ya Santwa. I don't know. I think there was an Ewe Ya Santwa as well. I do know that as well. So it was like very, very great. It was an eye opener, and I loved it. I loved that session well. Yes.
I like the way Mildred is going. It was an eye opener. She's going to give us a lot more details into that. But how about you?
I learned a lot too. So watching the show yesterday, I felt like, these girls really did good research. Because storytelling comes with 3 different things. So you have the hook, the character, and then the voice. And these girls brought all these 3 things on. It was nice watching.
Even the costume.
You know. And I learned one fascinating thing I learned was the Bantama story. The Dagbonhini and then the Ashanti. Like, these girls really did a good job yesterday.
But I mean, we're not just here. Let me acknowledge our sponsors before they come for the
that.
Calipo here. So you can see Frutelli and Calipo have joined us to give us a refreshment on the show. We're doing it very relaxed. Exactly. You have to sip. That's how we're doing it. There we go. We're going to be enjoying. So make sure maybe you can file in your nomination. I'll think of picking you to join us on the show very, very soon. But like I'm going to say, let's start with, the setup. Right. I was blown when I saw the setup. It was giving, what's this program? By the fireside.
Yeah.
It was giving olden days when your grandma would call you after.
The stools and the fire.
The fire, everything was on point. What do you make of the setup from yesterday?
It was awesome for me. So from the top, I saw something rounded at the top. And then down there, you saw the fire. What was the fire like? Was it light or what was it?
It wasn't like the actual flame. So they just had to it was an
Yeah.
artificial one because I mean they can't bring the fire on the
so
stage.
I was like, I remember Black Sheriff performing at 3 Music Awards.
Yes.
Lights and water was coming up. I'm like, so is there fire in the studio? It's like,
please,
I said there is fire in the studio.
Please.
It was so amazing.
The audience in there already brought the heat, so we couldn't have added fire. They were chilling so much. At a point, I was like, should I just wake up and join the audience? Because they were chilling on commercial breaks too much. What do you make of the setup as well?
So I think it was honestly, it was given traditional. For the whole storytelling idea, there were pots, there was the flame, the fire, and then there was the stool, like all of that. It was just given traditional with their outfits as well. Everything was great. I loved
Talking
it.
about outfits,
Yes.
Even before we come to the outfits of the contestants, let's talk about the hosts.
Right.
Oh my God.
Should we talk Kevs today too?
Sorry?
Should we talk Kevs?
Listen, it's you. Talk whatever you want to talk. But listen, our host came in on point from the beginning. I saw someone say the brofo was brofoing. Everything was giving.
Yeah.
Oh my God, our host Cookie T and Anissa, listen, every single time we're going to give you kudos because you know how to do what you do. I try about clothing, Laurie Hoots Couture. I mean, they're always, clothing them as always. But what was your highlight? Or what was that one story that you say, okay, this one actually really, really blew you away?
I think there were a lot of them, but like I mentioned earlier, I liked the whole Ewe Kente thing with the Ewe Yasan. So I really don't know how to pronounce her name. So yes, I loved that. And I loved Kwatima's performance as well. She was great.
Yeah.
And then I think Selom.
Right.
Selom also did very well. And my girl, she did awesome.
Yes, she
so
did.
I'm standing
She
here.
did. Definitely. How about you?
I like the lady from the north. The one who told the Bantama story.
The Bantama story, yeah.
Yeah, because I was just connecting the whole thing and then looking back onto how the Dagbon King and then now the Dagbon Hene the first and then Otumfo the first and now we have Dagbon and then the second. It's like there is some sort of connection there. It was awesome to watch. I like the Ewe girl too, the Selom girl. I think she can go up to the finals and I wish her well.
I wish her well.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Okay.
No.
You come to check if there's an alignment over
I mean,
there.
she did so well.
We actually have
She
to
did so
check.
well. And a certain lady to perform and she was talking like an old lady.
Kwatima.
Kwatima.
Yes.
Charlie,
that's
yo.
She
She's
nailed
got
it.
She
She
got
nailed
it.
it from beginning to end. I mean, I had to write it down by people because a lot of them brought their A game. You know, we're here talking about how all 32 of them brought their A games when they had to sell themselves.
Yeah.
And now we have the 16 and they're still giving each other a run for their money. So I'm like, I don't know what they're giving them. I don't know if it's in the food, if it's in the sleeping, whatever they're doing, please keep doing it because the ladies are all coming and it was so difficult. I didn't want to be one of the judges. I know.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Because
and at some point, I felt like the judges were suffering to give their remarks.
They were.
Because everybody was doing something.
at the point I
great.
just felt like, you know what, just call 5 of them out.
Yeah.
Just make it 5-5-5
Yeah,
because
because I realized when it was time for Miss Eloquence, they all, like the same people had to pick.
Yeah.
So like it was
Yeah.
just difficult for them to pick. So should we go for this? Should we go for that? Like it was just difficult for them to pick. But I didn't.
I mean,
great.
I had to, like I said, I had to write down the people that I saw. Nayeli definitely was there.
course.
Kwatama just gave
She
me
did well,
goosebumps the whole
yeah.
time because one point, I keep saying this, that when Anita asked her what she was going to say, she had this all, oh, I'm going to be giving you a history on how the Adinkra symbols came. I was like, okay, so I was like, and I'm like, excuse me,
Yo.
where did that come from?
The
You know, she just
energy.
embodied
Yo.
the character
Yeah.
right there. And Wenima also did wonderful, you know, talking about free air from the Eastern region, telling us about how why the Kwehus, you know, have a lot of money.
Yeah.
She ended the show, and I think
Yeah.
she ended it on a high.
well.
You know,
Yeah,
it started
so
on a
well.
high, ended on a high because. Also, I'm like, okay, girl, what's going on? Someone will think that because you're sitting through 16 stories,
Yeah.
you'll be tired, you'll be worn out.
It's just interesting. Like there's different stories over and over. You know the thing. You feel like you've heard the story before,
Yeah.
but then they bring something else and like, wow, this is also from this region, and then you are surprised. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
After that comes the storytelling.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And the fact that we had like 10 regions and now we have 16,
16.
and then we have like more stories.
Yeah.
It's great. I loved it.
So many. I mean, listen, if you're going to mention names from Chumwa, but listen, we have a lot of and even the way and manner in which they gave out their stories.
Right.
You know, some came very energetic in the beginning. Some also like embodied the character, like
Some
we
sort
said.
of transition. when they are
Exactly.
speaking,
You
they're
know,
telling the story.
they just had to show you the different
Their
ranges.
pictures were,
Everything
was
was.
great.
Listen,
Loved it.
these ladies are going to give
They
the
ate.
audience.
They
Charlie.
ate.
4 plus 4 is what? And I saw the comment section. The comment section was just my highlights on Facebook. Facebook was just the best place to watch the show, to be very honest. And I mean, I'm just going to pick your minds on some of the delivery styles that the ladies, you know, used in telling their stories to us. So let me just start with you.
So I'm just going back to the lady from the north as well. Like I just like the fact that she comes in a certain way. She tells a story, and then like watching the whole show. I'm like, so how did they get here? Because the train is it like the training from the house, or it's like something embedded in them.
We need to
because
find
somebody
out.
is telling a story, and you sit back and be like, intimate me a baby. Because Charlie, me age mates no more So like it's so fascinating to watch them, and I just think that they should just keep it up. There is more to come. I'm sure going forward, the judges will have like a difficult task, like select who has to go home, and so that is why the people voting at home has to do their work, because the judges will have a difficult task, and then voting has to be the thing to choose between who is going to stay in the house. Because I feel like all these girls came with their A game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How about you, Mildred?
So, again, I loved Kwatima. Let's talk about how, like you mentioned earlier, how she just stood up. And her hair, I saw it and I was like, excuse me, what's happening? Then she had a net, a hair net, and then she had wig. Just then the middle was off. And I was like, wow. And then she came and she's talking about all the Adinkra symbols, and I'm like, wow. Like she actually talked about it, and then my mind is just like on
she's wearing
Adinkra
Adinkra.
pie.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, when was on Adinkra?
Just on
Are you
Adinkra pie.
serious right
I'm like,
now,
wow. I'm like, wow. So like, I just loved her, how she delivered. I loved her, how she was very eloquent, if
Very.
you're being honest. I just loved everything about her. And then Nakwale too as well. She was very great. I loved the way she spoke. She was very eloquent. I think all the ladies are eloquent, if you're being honest. But then there's levels to this. And then in the end, there's always one winner anyway. But they are great, honestly. They're all great.
I also think one thing that they made a lot of use of was the timing.
Right.
So I was wondering how we're listening to 16 stories and we're not bored.
Yes.
Because it's like just one go,
Going
and they were just
over
hitting it.
and over
You know, it was just straight to the
Right.
point.
Everybody
This
comes
is
with different energy,
straight.
different vibe.
Yeah.
like 2 minutes, 1 minute, everybody
Yes,
is done.
yes.
You know, just hitting it straight.
Everyone
And
is
honestly,
going.
we need to find whoever is behind the training, because
Yeah,
the
we
person
find
needs
them.
the person needs accolades,
Charlie,
to be
Charlie,
very
Charlie.
honest.
It's
If it's
great.
also from their homes, then
Oh yeah, Charlie.
we're in for trouble this year. But we have some highlights from the shows, but we're just going to be picking them one after the other. So we're going to take some of the highlights, and then this is for the best performance as well. So we're going to be taking that, and then when we come back, we'll delve into that. Maybe some people should have been added. Maybe some people should be
maybe.
taken out.
Yes.
Maybe, right? We're going to find out very soon. Just watch this.
Her name invokes great pride and inspiration amongst the Efe people. Hey, because of this bravery, we say the Asantes have Yasantua, but we, the Efe people, we have Mama Yakagbe, the female warrior who defeated her enemies with her mystical powers. Agliamato, Malo, Namatui ho.
Salom. This is par excellence.
You have it, like she said, Mama Yakagba.
Yes.
First question. Was there anyone in there that you think should have added anyone else to the best performance nominees?
I think the lady that dressed with the, how do you call it? What's her name? Edinkra.
Kwatima was in
She
there.
was part.
So the
She wasn't
nominees
there.
were Kwatima, Salom, and Nayeli.
I think they should have given it to the two of them. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, that's not possible.
That's not possible. Just goes for one person.
Yeah, because the
That's
girl
not
was good.
possible.
So I
too.
think.
Or do you wish they had swapped?
Oh
the
no, I think she
positions?
deserves it.
Maybe she could have gotten, like, best costume. And Kwatima will get the overall star performance.
Yes, so I honestly
something.
thought Kwatima was going to get the best performance, and then the Selom, who got the most eloquent or something. I think you should just swap.
You should
But
swap.
I mean, it's just that just anyway. So.
No, we need to find. The judges have done their part. Now it's our time to do our part as well.
So well,
I thought-
yeah.
Who? Let me see. If I was supposed to add someone to that category,
I think it's-
Nayeli Kwatima, Salom,
There's this nothing that Sang Suma or something.
Sangsuma.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, she was nominated for the best costume.
Yes,
She was
yes.
like the princess.
Yeah.
I think she should have also been nominated.
I
Listen, she
also
should have just done
liked
5.
Just done it. Since there was no eviction, I mean, they should
Yeah.
have taken it.
They should have just done 5 because all the ladies, like you
did
said,
well. I
they
loved it.
came.
Yeah.
But I think the ladies should be proud of themselves.
They should.
Because they did so well.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the show.
Indeed.
And
bringing
their
your
first
A
performance. And bringing your A game on.
Yeah.
Performing to this
So
very
they need a round of
percentage.
applause.
Yes.
Charlie,
See,
Charlie,
See,
Charlie,
we've been
Charlie.
clapping. This is like the third time we're clapping on the
Charlie,
show.
Charlie, Charlie.
Clapping.
So that should tell
good.
you how the show was. But I also think Efriye could have been nominated for one of the categories.
Yeah.
Maybe for the eloquent. Yes, Efriye did
They
it.
will.
She did it for me.
But everybody can be awarded.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's
We should have
the
done
fast
5.
Wow.
So that would just make all of us happy.
Right.
I'm sure people would have still had issues.
Yeah.
Anyways, but see the ladies. Let me drink to
The
your
ladies
to
are
your.
too good.
They are too good.
They are
They are
great.
too good. They are too
Where's
good.
on the break? We're talking about the star performer, and I'm going to ask one more question.
Right.
If you had to pick, would you have picked Selo?
Honestly, I loved Kwatima, so I definitely would have gone for Kwatima.
Kwatima.
Yes, I mean, I told you, I loved the way she dressed, the way she appeared, the way she spoke, everything, her hairstyle sense, really. Like, I love everything
Yeah.
about it. So I would have probably, or most definitely, gone for Kwatima instead of
Instead.
Selim.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about
I
you?
think Salome is cool for me because she delivered. She did well. I never knew about this ever woman who is a Yasantwa too.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't. I couldn't even mention this.
Yakagbe.
Yo,
Charlie,
I
something
never
like
knew
that.
about it, and I've never heard it. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's new to.
I think
It's new to
something
me
we
because
don't
I'm not.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
because you're not
Yeah,
in that
that from that
space,
side.
Yeah.
Because I never knew like there was somebody from the Volta region who was also a Yasantwa for them,
I think we are
and they have a
we
stool
are
for her and
mostly
everything.
told about Yasantwa more. So we don't really know about that. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned, I didn't even know there was like Ewe Kente.
Yeah.
Till Fred Amugi
Yeah.
said like she should have spoken about it and told
That's
us
well.
that, yeah. So I just think
So
that's
I mean,
So
I
you would have
like,
still stayed
of
with
course,
Stella.
I think she did well.
Are you sure?
Of course, I'm not every boy. Oh.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not
asking
everybody,
a
but the
question. I
girl
just
did
want to
well.
understand
Oh no,
and
she
be
did so
sure.
well. She
Then
did
you
so
stay
well.
with her.
I was reading comments on Facebook and people were like, you vote out people, when it goes for you're happy, when it goes out, then you're screaming.
But she did well.
She did well. She
I mean,
had
putting
it.
everything aside, she came. Her
She-
energy
of
was on
course.
point.
She
You
came,
know, her
she saw and
delivery.
she conquered.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
easy. Okay, we see that. We see that. Anyway, yes, Antoine, we hear you.
Yeah,
ma.
yeah,
Please, we're sorry.
Yakagbe.
Yeah, yes, that is it. It's not easy. But we have the most eloquent. So we're going to pick some of the, the videos from there, and then we'll come back and then we'll enter the
Go
matter
into
properly.
it.
So please, let's take a look.
Today, tourists from far and wide visit the tourist site to immerse themselves in its natural beauty. After tonight, come with me, okay, to the Great Dodowa Forest, yeah, where you will be captivated by its mesmerizing view, allowing you to connect with the past and embrace the present. Nyairadon.
Thank you, Nayeli.
Na Ayele.
Nayeli wins most eloquent.
And that was Nayeli from the Greater Accra region. And she went home with the Most Eloquent Award. And so we're going to be talking about that as well.
You know, some of the English words are slippery. Mesmerizing. You bob.
So stay away from it.
So if somebody is able to stand on a stage like this,
And say mesmerizing.
yo,
You have to give it to her straight.
challenge. The girl is good.
But she's not the only one that said mesmerizing. Actually, quite a number of them
see,
adopted
I
the
know,
word.
but I'm saying that choosing certain words. Listen, I'll never choose such a word on TV.
When you
I
know you're on
same.
stage,
Same.
Yeah, Charlie.
you could just-
And the fact that it's my first time on that stage, my first time picking the mic on that stage,
Yeah.
seeing the crowd, the whole
The
world watching me.
audience,
Like.
So kudos to her. Was she your most eloquent?
She did. Yeah, she did. I mean, she was for me.
She was for
Yeah,
you.
I'm a gun boy, and I'm not choosing her because.
Yeah, be very diplomatic. Everybody
like-
was.
Oh yeah, she was. She was for me.
It's
Trust
okay.
me. She was so okay for me.
Okay, you tell me. I know that
The
you
Dodowa Forest.
No,
Did you
no.
hear how she told you the story? I'm sure it's in your head now.
Well, a lot of stories are in my head
Right,
actually.
Yo.
stuck in
Even
your
right
head.
now, I'm still remembering Commander. Commander is ringing in my head. Commander.
Yo.
But say,
But she
how
did
about you,
well.
Mildred?
So I like Selom for Most Eloquent. I think, I mean, I'm Ghana, but I'm just trying to be very, I think she did better than Na. But I mean, it was great. All of them did well again. So I just felt like for mine, I would have gone for Selom for Most
For
Eloquent.
most eloquent. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the ladies see, these ladies, I keep saying this thing,
brought
and then
fire.
it sounds like we keep repeating
Yeah.
ourselves because it is what it is. Like, no matter what you do, the ladies are just coming on with their A game. And also, kudos to the ladies themselves.
Yes.
You know how they were just cheering each other
Yeah, I
on?
was
up.
wondering. So I was
Yeah.
thinking,
You know?
was the sound coming from the ladies or
Oh,
from
it
the
was from the-
backstage?
Yeah.
It was from the ladies,
So they were
actually.
supporting one another.
Yeah, they were
Yes,
supporting
they were.
each other.
I think the only ones that were coming from the backstage, like the people that were helping, the sound people,
Yeah.
were like the songs. When they had to sing the
Yes.
songs, they just
Yeah.
held them and all that. But
But
all
the-
all the story, all those things.
Oh,
It was from
wow.
the
Even got to a
audience.
point, Cookie was also saying, I think
You
she was
know?
also enjoying
Exactly.
everything.
And, you know,
It
it
was
come from the
great,
ladies
yeah.
and then the audiences. And they were
That's the
even in their
support
elements.
system.
They were even because you could see their reactions. Some of them were like,
Yeah.
"Hey!"
The shock
I
on
think I
their
caught
faces.
one of the ladies doing that in one of the. I don't know if we have that, but she was just like, "What?"
Which was alright.
And I was like, "What's going on here? Are we like a theater or something?" But
I feel like
listen,
because it's, you know, the whole by the fireside experience. So your grandma is telling you the story, and you're like, "Hey, grandma!"
But you know,
So like
Melvin,
that's the feel
I'm not sure
they
any
had.
of the girls there really enjoyed by the fireside.
I
So
don't,
there
I
are
don't
really-
think so.
Oh, no, I don't
think so. Maybe just a few of
Maybe
them.
yeah, feel of
Yeah.
it. I feel like maybe they've heard the stories, and the stories were fascinating. These are stories
Yeah.
that are fresh. Like maybe you've heard them before, but the twist that comes to the story, the
Yeah.
angles that come from the voice, the person's character. Charlie,
The
you be moved.
persona.
It was
I
so
think
it was
great.
just them being
Yeah.
themselves
Of course,
and
they were being
reacting
themselves.
like the way some of us were reacting at home,
Yeah, backstage.
hearing ewe yasatwa.
No.
But there was a performance, Kwatime's performance actually got Uncle Fred speechless.
Yes.
You know, he was like, "We have
To the
that.
top.
We have that. We're
I
going
really
to
love
we're going to play that, and then we'll come back to talk about that." I just think it was a wow moment. Let's just pick that.
But their plans and to Ghana at large. They are used in our cloth, in royal places like the palace, the museum, even in offices. Oh, when the president invited me to his office this morning, I wasn't surprised to see the Jinyame symbol right opposite the Ghana flag. I think cry all the way.
That was a super show. Yeah. I'm so dumbfounded. You played the role to the hilt. You hit the nail right on the head. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best because this I don't know how to describe what you did. That was really, really good. Keep it up. Beyond the moon is where you belong. It will come to pass.
Some great words coming in from our judges. And if Kwatima from the Bono region wowed you as well, the short code is very simple.
My God, Uncle Freddy, his prophetic
Beyond the
elements. You know, he was
Beyond the moon.
beyond the
What is
moon,
beyond
over
the
the
moon?
hills, hitting
No,
the
like,
nail
what's
right
beyond-
on the head.
Oh, listen, what is beyond the moon?
Well, I don't know what
It's
is
a
there.
new vocab.
We don't know
course.
what is
Beyond the moon. You hit the nail right on the
on the
head.
head, over the hills.
He was speechless, honestly. He was speechless. Like, he loved her performance. So everything was just, he was just trying to find words to explain.
Because he had to speak.
Exactly.
Left to him, he would just, give facial expressions.
Like, that's
and just
all.
go. that was a beautiful performance from Kwatima. And all the other ladies, all the ladies, even Nura. Nura, I remember, when she started the show, I think when she started very slow, and then gradually she picked up. And that was like a very great start. I'm like, okay, if this is what is coming, what else? This is how we're starting. How's it going to be like? And then from beginning to end, like first person hits it, last person hits it. And I'm like, okay, we're in for a show. But you guys, don't forget, like he said, Nene said, if the only thing that's going to help the ladies right now is your votes.
Of course.
Because they're all putting their A game. The judges are going to do their best to score them. But if you do not vote for them, that's when they're going to fall short. So make sure you're dialing *713. I'm sure by now you can even quote the short code *713*13# or download TVD Reality app.
See, when you download the app, it is easy for you to know who is winning,
exactly,
who is leading. Then you can put in more votes.
You can just put in
more votes.
Because
when you vote your 5 CD and you think you've done something, go be cock
5 CDs, it's not reaching anywhere, honestly. Let me be honest with you. If you think you voted 5 CDs and you have done something, please advise yourself. So just download the app.
I think yesterday was a learning curve for not only us, the audience, but the girls as well. Because I remember when somebody came, she made a mistake, and then she had to be corrected. When another person came, she didn't repeat the mistake. So it was a learning curve for all of us.
I think that was when Uncle Fred was like, she was talking and she said sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't say sorry because it makes your audience aware of the mistake you've done. So the next lady came and then she just went to and I was like, oh wow, you picked it from here.
Yeah, and funny thing is, when I was watching it, I just remembered an event I attended the day before, and the speaker was talking about storytelling, and he said nobody knows your story better than you. So especially for a day like this, we don't know what you're coming to say.
Exactly.
You might have an idea. The only mistake you might make is maybe a grammatical error. But aside that, if you don't say sorry, we don't even know that it's a grammar.
Maybe it's part of the story.
Maybe we even think it's your language. You understand? We won't know. So I think it's a cue that the ladies have picked, and then going forward, every single person is going to pick that as well.
With that, I feel like everybody else, even aside the ladies, everybody else should learn this.
Yes.
Because he even said that it's for all of us. If I'm telling you something and I don't say sorry and I continue with it, you will realize I've made a mistake. Just go. So I just feel like
the performing acts come with it's your own style. You are performing, you are the act, you are the character. So
you have the mic.
Of course.
We don't.
What you give us is what we take.
Yeah.
So when if it's maybe it's your language, maybe it's your style of telling the story, maybe it's your style of getting the attention of the people.
We'll never know.
So just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I learned something yesterday.
Maybe some 10 years later before we realize that this girl actually made a mistake. But till then, we never know. So please, you're the best person to tell your story. So this is a lesson for every single one of us.
Right.
So we have another so we're going to talk about Uncle Fred because he was a guest on the show. And talking about storytelling, I don't even know who else could have been on the show. He was just the best person to come in there. So what do you make of some of his comments, overall performance?
So I think I don't want to say because he was the guest judge, he was trying to be, but I think with comparing him to both Auntie G and the other lady, I think he was very particular about certain things. Like he picked very little details and spoke about them because with the story thing, I'm sure someone would have just listened and like, okay, never mind. Yeah. But he spoke on it and even advised all of us. I think he was very tactical with his words, with encouraging the ladies. I think someone didn't really put up to his expectation. And he actually said it that no, like she could have done better. Right? I feel like the other judges I think they are probably used to the whole show thing, so they were a little relaxed. But Uncle Fred came and he brought like, okay, do this, do that, and you'll be better. So I really liked his judging.
How about you?
I think Uncle Fred this is first time doing something like this. I don't know. I stand to be corrected.
Honestly, I wouldn't put myself in that space.
Yeah, so I think he used the platform very well because we've always seen him on the screens, acting, etc. But I've never seen him teaching us how to go about the work. And there's someone who's been in the space for a long time, even before some of us were born. So he's bringing the things he's picked up from his childhood age through acting and everything. And he taught us a lot. But I felt like at some point, he was under too much pressure because after everybody's performance, he has to make a comment. And that was like, sometimes he wouldn't know the right word to use or how to express how to express how to express himself at somebody's performance. And so maybe in the future, a guest judge shouldn't even be made to talk too much. Maybe the person can be made to talk to. But I feel like your man was under too much pressure yesterday. Trust me. Yeah,
I also think that, you know, like you said, because we're used to Auntie Jane and Auntie Jibodi, so we need like a neutral, if I should say, like a neutral ground. So
they
try to.
should have two guest judges.
Well, I think there was a time that it was like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, going forward, maybe we
like
could.
he was under a lot of pressure.
To comment on every single person.
To express himself. Maybe he knew what to say, but how to put it.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't like to repeat the same words
for the first person.
And he has to say this for 16 good times.
That was a loss. That's a loss, actually. Thinking about it, that's a loss. But I mean, all in all, he was just the best person for the storytelling episode on Ghana So Beautiful 2023. So we're discussing, you know, Upper East region at Duanige, you know, her one. Now, when she came on, and she was going to tell us a story of how there's A attached to almost all their names, I was like, okay, we're in for this. Like, let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Then she started, and I don't know what was happening.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I think I got lost at a point.
We all got lost.
Oh, I wasn't the only one.
We all got lost because I didn't know how. I couldn't connect it.
Connect the dots.
So what she was saying, she said when her people were in trouble some 200 years ago, the people were in trouble, they had to consult the gods, and the gods advised them to name the warriors according to the things around them. So a rock now became strength by adding an A to it. But where did the A come from?
Why didn't they decide to use B?
Exactly.
S, C, D, E?
Those are the things she should have been telling us.
Or
maybe is it like they can't pronounce certain words, alphabet, so A is what they could pronounce.
Because
well, also maybe, right? This is me trying to understand the whole situation.
Yeah.
So maybe the things around them, like the strength and all those things, were things that already had A's attached to them.
Maybe.
So let's say, for instance, I don't even know how to put it, but if a rock had to be called strength, they have to, like, the actual name of the, well, listen, I'm just trying to, but it's just not working. Anyways.
If they're not people, they should try and explain to us.
Yeah.
We want to understand. We want to get to the bottom of it.
Yes, please. Probably.
Yeah.
But I think they also really tried with that. But I'd like us to look at the best costume.
Right.
Best costume, I feel like quite a number of people could have made it, but we're going to take the pictures of the nominees. So we had Sung Suma. She had like the whole princess look. Nayeli was in there. Salom was in there, and then Kwatima was in there as well. So there we have. So this is Kwatima, and that's Salom on the. So Salom, Kwatima, and then we have Sung Suma and Nayeli. Yes. So there we have it. Who should have made it to the cuts?
Ifriye for me.
Ifriye should have made it. I agree. Ifriye should have been in there. Well, I don't know if we could take anybody out.
I think
they all deserve it, but I think
Ifriye could have joined.
Because she looked different from everybody.
Right?
Yesterday. Yeah, the cape, the baggy jeans, the sneaker, the socks.
Yeah, I think she was different because everybody is like, okay, in the whole traditional, but her dressing was backing what she was. You know, she said burger something.
Yes.
And then you know how the burgers do dress when they're coming now. They want to know that they've landed.
And even
so with their chains, their jewelry,
everything was just working.
It was given.
Well, so maybe she should have made it as well.
Maybe she should have.
And I also actually wish that Sung Suma should have picked the best costume because she was
like so pretty, like so, like such a doll.
And she was talking about being a princess and why, you know, her dad well, by 800 years ago, the princesses were not dressing like that. Let's be honest, that's not how they were dressing.
They're probably in leaves and things.
Exactly. I mean, you see, let's tell the truth sometimes. But I mean, all the ladies were the angels, like we said.
But Olila, her dressing, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the motive behind the dress.
The whites?
Yeah, the whites. Was it singlet or what was that?
It was singlet.
Who gave it to her? Who advised her?
Probably because of the story she was telling. You know, it had to just correlate.
It didn't resonate.
It didn't work for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. But like you said, all the ladies. So let me just ask one final. In totality, from confidence, eloquence, you know, star performer, everything, performance, who did it for you, Nene? So I give you time to think.
I think the Origin girl did it for me.
Serum did it.
Yeah, she did it for me. And you see, let's not kid ourselves too. this whole thing is not their soul making. So it's not a making of the queens to come on stage and perform well. There are a lot of people who do a lot of work behind the scenes. There are managers, the people who write the script, the people who go through the scripts. And I want to advise all those people who do those things for the queens that you may think you are doing something for the queens today, but you're adding to your CV. Because GMB goes beyond the glamour, the winning the car and everything. You may go somewhere and you can tell people that I managed this person when the person was at GMB. And GMB is a show everybody is watching. So her output, her output, everything she's doing, people are seeing it. So if you go stand somewhere and say, okay, I was the one behind this, people really acknowledge the fact that you did some work. And so they should just keep up supporting the queens. And I think TV3 once a while should acknowledge the people who work for
behind.
I
mean, we should have an episode so they can perform with them or something.
Maybe they should be given a chance to even share their stories, how they went about. I mean, it's
noted.
And I suggested it.
Yes. Nene. So it's when you're going to stand somewhere, you say like, you suggested. No, how about you? Who did it for you?
So same Kwatima and then Sungsuma. I think she would have. I think there was a tie between her and Sungsuma. I can't pick both, I think for both of them, I think I will go with Kwatima. But Sungsuma also did well, so
both of them did it for you.
For me.
Okay, next week is another week. I honestly don't have any idea what you're planning to do next week. Go to WOW as always. But what are you expecting for next Sunday?
I think the queens have seen the stage. They've seen the heat that comes when you're on the stage. They've seen everything. They've seen the people, the judges, and everybody. They're going to be seeing guest judge. The only new person they're going to see will be the guest judge.
Definitely.
If there will be any. So I expect them to come without any excuse and give out their best.
Definitely. Yeah. How about you?
So honestly, they should just bring their A game. They should do hard. Like that's the word. They should just go hard.
Yeah.
Because with all these judges, I don't want them to get too complacent.
True.
Because you know that I'm seeing this face here, I'm seeing this face here, I know there's two faces. Who is going to be the next one? I could just go my way and not do too well, but I just want them to bring their A game, do well, because you are winning. It's the crowd.
It's the crowd.
So just focus on the crowd.
It's the crowd, baby. Anyways, thank you guys so much. It's always fun doing this with you. Nene and Mildred were my guests in the studio today. Very big thank you going out to our sponsors as well, Calipo and Fratelli. This is very delicious.
Are we popping something?
Yeah. You want to
cheers.
Oh, please. You finish drinking it. It's not that time we're going to cheers.
Cheers.
But thank you guys so much. Next week, we're here same time, Mondays, 5 p.m. live. Make sure you join us. I'd like to read your comments. I would love to. Are you to